just start this off by saying I like Tawnypelt, I like Rowanclaw/Star. I do not like their relationship. Considering the fact that the first canonical interaction that these two have is Rowanclaw doubting Tawnypelt's loyalty, I'm pretty sure it's the first. Either way, it's a very early one. And then just randomly the next time we see them, they're mates? What? Excuse me? How? I guess the authors just forgot? But then, out of all the characters, why Rowanclaw? Why did you have to put him with Tawnypelt. Why'd you have to put Tawnypelt with Rowanclaw? I get Rowanclaw was, given a mate as, an apology for calling him a she-cat so many times. But you know what? Maybe he should have stayed a she-cat so he didn't end up with Tawnypelt. Truly, the only thing we really see of their relationship after this first, little interaction that Rowanclaw and Tawnypelt that have is, during A Vision of Shadows. But before that point, this is the first time they really do anything. But I'm going to keep talking about this point because I don't want to talk about A Vision of Shadows yet. I got other things to do. So going back to the whole Rowanclaw is given a mate as an apology for constantly getting his gender wrong in the allegiances. Can I just say that's a stupid reason to give a character a mate? Especially one that has zero development. Now, I don't have a problem with him getting a mate as an apology per se. I'm just saying, the audience doesn't know this character. The only thing we know about him is that he doubts Tawnypelt's loyalty. That's it. That's the only real thing we have, and he's kind of a jerk. He has some other appearances too, where he's, a jerk. What was the reason? Why? And why Tawnypelt? If you're gonna write a series of books with so many characters, I get you're probably gonna forget what little interactions that some of these characters have. But also, if you're gonna give Tawnypelt a love interest, maybe you should read back all the, parts of Tawnypelt to see what was going on. So we didn't make this mistake. Okay, I have been talking about this mistake for 2 minutes. Not mistake. Well, I mean, yeah, it is a mistake to put him with Tawnypelt. Moving on. Now, there is an argument that maybe Rowanclaw got over his distrust, but we aren't ever shown that until, later on in the series where Rowanclaw, straight up has stopped being, a jerk about kitty pets and shit, because, when his kits are announced, I don't think it was kitty pets, actually. I think it was just, other cats in general. But, because when, Rowanclaw's kits are announced, he's yeah, they're clan-born kits to Squirrel Flight, and, I think Brambleclaw was there too, but I don't remember. I don't really like to think about Brambleclaw. And, Rowanclaw, sir, you just told, you were being a jerk to your wife's friend while she's not there. Is that why you did it, Rowanclaw? Because she wasn't there? Rowanclaw? Rowanclaw? I question you heavily. Anyways, moving on. So, in A Vision of Shadows, we see a lot more of Rowanclaw, and a lot more of Tawnypelt too, of course, because Violet, Shine, Kit, Paw, whatever, I could have just said Violet Shine like a normal person. But she is the main protagonist, so of course we're going to see a bit of the leader, and maybe his mate also. I don't think Tawnypelt really does that much. I know in Tiger Heart's Shadow, I think, there's a scene of Tawnypelt almost getting blinded by Juniper Claw, I believe. I don't know if that was in Tiger Heart Shadow, actually. I think I'm just stupid. I know there was a book where Tawnypelt is almost blinded, and Rowanstar does something about it. Also, I'm just kind of jumping around, and I'm sorry about that. My thoughts are not thoughting correctly. I will probably reorder this in editing, but I don't believe I will. So, there's that. Anyways, after Darktail takes over ShadowClan's camp, Tawnypelt and Tiger Heart go with him. This is actually probably the first, mate interaction they really have. Which also it could just be Tawnypelt being loyal to her leader and not these random rogues that show up out of nowhere. Because, who would it be? Well, I mean, the rest of ShadowClan, of course, but there's that. Anyways, then Rowanstar gets his leadership back, Tawnypelt defends him and stuff. That's pretty much a summary of their A Vision of Shadows relationship and up until the point where Yarleaf's kits get stolen and Tawnypelt and Rowanclaw are the cats that go and get them back. Also, Rowanstar became leader. I didn't mention this because it wasn't relevant to the actual relationship, which is the topic of today's video. So Rowanclaw becomes leader, but then he loses his leadership, as you probably could infer by the fact that he got kicked out of his clan. But he then regained his leadership, and then he gave it up again. So he's Rowanclaw again. Anyways, so Rowanclaw sacrifices himself for Tawnypelt, and that is it. That is the end of their relationship. It's not very good. Like, nothing important actually, like, really happens to solidify them as good. They just exist. That's it. Okay, editor me here. I realized I forgot to give, like, any conclusion. I don't know how I did that, but so really quickly, conclusion is Tawnypelt and Rowanclaw is good. It's not bad. It just exists. I don't like them. There's my conclusion that I forgot to put.